Hey everyone, Joe here. Well, today I wanted to talk about long exposure noise reduction. And this is not to be confused with high ISO noise reduction. And been researching some videos and stuff and topics to talk about on the channel, kind of help repopulate my photo tutorials and stuff. And well, I've run across a few channels talking about this, and they don't really seem to know exactly what they're talking about. Kind of getting a little close, but they're not fully understanding what they're actually explaining. And it's obvious. So, I wanted to explain long exposure noise reduction, when you should use it, why you should and should or should not use it. Because there's times to use it and there's times you should not. And I want to fully go in and explain it. Now, I am going to be explaining it about Canon. I do not use Nikon because I'm not crazy. I don't use Sony. I don't use Panasonic, anything else. And I don't use Fuji, although if I ever left Canon, it would be for Fuji. So this video is directly about when you should not use it on Canon. And a couple of the videos I've seen were talking about Canon because they were Canon users. So yeah, let's clear some things up here right quick. Long exposure noise reduction, again, not to be confused with high ISO noise reduction, actually does not remove noise. Now, I don't know why Canon calls it noise. It removes hotspots. If you've ever done long exposures, you may have seen them on your camera sensor, photos and stuff. You go to pull them into Lightroom or whatever, and you're sitting there, wonder where these bright magenta, green, or blue pixels come out of nowhere, or these spots on your images. Now, those who do night photography, or especially like long exposure astrophotography, where you're taking a whole bunch of photos over a very long period of time, a couple minutes per exposure, stacking them up. Yeah, you've run into this, and you probably already know how to fix it. However, like I said, a couple people recommended not to use it. They kind of explained it, but they don't fully understand what they're talking about. It's not actually noise. It is hot pixels, what we're talking about here. When you should use it, when you should not. When you should, if you're going to be taking photos right out of your camera, upload them straight to, say, like Facebook, Instagram, whatnot, and you want the photo to look as best you can from that one image, then yes, turn it on. If you're like using JPEGs and stuff, you want to be uploading straight out, pick a long exposure, and your camera may or may not have hot pixels. What it's doing is it's going to take a long exposure, say 1 minute, and it starts this on Canon anything past 1 second. It takes a full 1 minute photo. It then takes immediately, as soon as that one photo's done, it takes another full 1 minute photo, but this time with the shutter closed. So the shutter's fully blocking the sensor from getting any light. You'll then see those hot pixels, and it deletes them out of the previous image. Now, it won't restore data that the pixels have covered up. It just removes them. Pretty much simple, or same thing that you can do in Lightroom yourself. So, that's the only time I would recommend you using it. And that's why most of us recommend turning it off. So, why wouldn't you want to do this? So, for example, you're taking a whole bunch of photos for a star trail. Now, you want those nice, smooth trails going across the screen. You took all that time and effort to point your camera right at the Polaris, that's the North Star. And you're sitting there and you're getting everything set up. Take all your photos. When you get home and you go to stack them, and it does this. Stars, star trails, and there's a big gap, another star trails, big gap, another star trails. Yeah, because your camera will stop after every image, take another image with the shutter closed, and subtract it for you. So what you get is a whole bunch of like jittered star trails. They're not smooth, not consistent. So what you do on that case is you either one, take it a long exposure before you go naturally use it as an image for template for later, or after you took all your star trails, your very last image where it goes take the lens cap on the front of it, just pop it on there. If your lens is in manual focus, it's not going to care, which you're probably already in manual focus anyway. if you're taking star trails. It would then take a completely blank photo as normal, because you only need one to be able to use that image to subtract all the hot pixels out of all the previous images. There's no reason to taking 300 shutter photos and only getting 150 photos at the end. So like I said, in star trails, it's going to make it look very jittery. If you're doing time lapse is going to look jittery because you want that next photo to start as soon as the previous photo ends. So you never want to have another gap in there, especially 1 or 2 minutes long, because things are going to skip across the screen. Not going to look good. Also, if you're doing, deep astrophotography and you get your camera on one of those gimbals that's tracking, stuff in the sky, you want as many photos as you can taken of what you're photoing. So if you're taking photos for, like, say, 30 minutes and you turn around and got long exposure noise reduction turned on, you're only getting 15 minutes worth of photos. So it defeats the purpose. When all you need is one image, so just, like I said, at the end of the night, while you're still taking photos, before you've took the last couple of photos you're going to take the night, just simply put the lens cap on. But it take a couple of little blank black photos, use that at the end. Now, hot pixels can really, make somebody hot. Pissed off when you buy a camera, you get home and get hot pixels. I've owned three DSLRs and now this mirrorless in the past 25 years. My 600D, which I had the last time I was taking time-lapse photos with, did not have any hot pixels. None whatsoever. The 18 megapixel sensor, even on a 5-minute exposure, crystal clear. No problems whatsoever. Obviously, never have to worry about long exposure noise reduction or black frame to remove hot pixels because there never was any. 70D, oh my God, really disappointed in that camera when it could have taken night photos. It had atrocious green, magenta, and a couple blue hot pixels on it. It was really disappointing for a $1,000 camera, especially at that point in time, that far back. My 80D, which I still got on here on the shelf behind me, no problem, 0 hot pixels on it. As far as the R50 I have here, not sure yet. I haven't took any long exposures, and really probably not, because this camera already has a built-in time-lapse movie function, and it doesn't have a place for a mechanical shutter. So there's that. So I'm not taking any long exposure time lapses with this, really. But if you do end up with hot pixels, it's not the end of the world. Basically what you do is you take all the photos that you're going to be using at the end of the night, put them in Lightroom. You've seen my retouching tutorials. You've seen where I can go in and group up a whole bunch of photos and remove the hot pixels out individually one by one. Well, not hot pixels, but edit the photos in big groups. You can do that with the retouching brush, just, at the spot heal brush, just take it on the hot pixels. It'll pick another spot on the screen that's blank. It'll automatically remove them. You can just then go through and take all your look at your photos, make sure you don't have any hot pixels, make sure any stars ain't getting blanked out or moved over, and just simply remove them that way. That way you can, even if it's 1,000 images, you can edit them all in 2 or 3 strokes using the group photo editing process in Lightroom. If you're interested in me showing you more about how to do that, let me know. I'll make a video on it, but it's really simple. So yeah, if you're going to be editing photos, don't use long exposure noise reduction. Stick your lens cap on the front. Make sure your camera's in manual focus. Then you can take that long exposure and save that image later to remove the hot spots out of any other images you have. You're going to be uploading to Instagram, Facebook, or any other place that you want to show off your images, and you don't plan on editing anything, like you're shooting JPEGs, then you can use it. But any other time, no, keep it turned off. So anyway, hope that explains it. What noise really is, what they're referring to. It's not noise, it's hot pixels. So anyway, I hope this really explains things and clears up some misconceptions on what long exposure noise reduction is and when you should not use it. Okay, everybody. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss any of my new videos. Please feel free to join us on Discord, Facebook, and X. And if you can, please consider becoming a Patreon member. Also, if you're interested in what gear I use, those and all the other links can be found down in the description below.